Well, all right, here we are again. Thanks for jumping in. You're wondering what's going on? Well, you know what? In a minute, I'm going to tell you all about it after I get some housekeeping done. I want to give a shout out to the crew over at B-Word Media Group. They got a lot of great things going on over there. Make sure you jump in the show notes. I got a link down there. Check these guys out. And as for this show, what you're listening to now is one of two different types of formats that I have. It's a long episode. I got a guest or two on. And of course, the subject range is gigantic. And on the opposite weeks, it's just me and spitting in this microphone about shit I think you need to hear and whatever's on my heart and my mind. And again, that too, the subject range is huge, which I enjoy. Anything you need to know about the show is on the website, brawpodcast.com. You know, merch, get on the newsletter, sign up for YouTube, damn it, trying to build that community up. Everything else you need to know, brawpodcast.com. And I'm a one-man band over here. Everything that you see, I create. I do all the work and all that. It's not a complaint. Trust me, it's not a complaint. I really love what I got going on here. But I'm asking for your help. You don't need to send money, but that's always encouraged. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't need your money. What I need is for you to take a bit of your precious time, go over to whatever platform that you are listening to this on, and maybe one that you're not listening to on. And let me give you an example. If you listen on iTunes, if you jump over on Spotify real quick and 5-star review, write a review per episode or this episode. And if YouTube, again, would love for you to jump on there, build that community up. And if you like what I got going on here, you know, makes you laugh, makes you think, gets you pissed off, whatever it does to give you some feeling inside of you, make sure you're alive, would love for you to tell a friend or 7. And I can't go any further without mentioning the 2 companies that I use on the regular and have been for many years. And I love what each of them got going on. They're local in their own communities. They're building up some great things, supporting community. And I'm honored to be part of that. And first up is Craig over at High Speed Daddy. This dude has lunchboxes, backpacks, clothing, all other sorts of stuff. And if you're not a dad or a parent, it doesn't matter. He's got a bunch of stuff for everybody. And then next up, of course, is Live Rishi. I've been yelling at you guys forever about this stuff, and I can't say enough good about it. The tincture helps me sleep at night, and of course, the Rishi rub is a staple in my gym bag. Link is in the show notes for both companies. Support those who support us, and of course, make sure you give them hell when you get over there. All right, man, let's get on to this show. You know, when I started this project, Nico was the type of guest that I was imagining that I would have on. We get into all sorts of crazy stuff, tell great stories. The subject matter is all over the place. And then he uses his social media to make sure he'll show you the power of social media to make sure he gets taken care of with a customer service issue. But you know what? Like always, I'm going to let him tell you all about it. Let's get to it. There's always gems right in the middle, in the beginning. You know?
There always are. You know how many times I've had gems on my own podcast and we're not even recording? I'm like, son of a, again with this?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, God, how come I can't hear nothing? Oh, what the? Hold on a second, dude. How come I can't hear nothing?
Old age?
Well, you got that too.
That happens.
And then, and riding a motorcycle for 20 years with mufflers on it this big and no baffles, and you know,
of course not.
Yeah,
super good for the earring.
Yeah, no helmet. You know.
See, I can't do that. I'm too shallow, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I ride full face. Hell
do
no.
you?
Oh yeah, man. I did research when I first got into motorcycles, and it's 90%, 95%. The first impact is the chin.
Oh shit!
I read that. I'm like, oh hell no.
Full face.
But I got a cool one though. I have a really cool one. I'm a fan of Deadpool. Like it's about the only Marvel guy I really like. But
I love Deadpool.
So. Like the full face is.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man.
Yeah.
What do you ride for a bike?
I had a KTM, got rid of it, Harley.
Mm-hmm.
No, old school 1999.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it is what I saw when I was. Thank you. It's what I saw when I was a kid, right? That's what it comes down to. Like no electronics, no nothing. It's just
Analog.
beautiful. It's black and stainless. That's it.
That's
There's
beautiful.
nothing to it. 1300 cc's, 1350.
Nice.
And it's just it gets some. You have to get used to it because the KTM, like it was a how do you call it? It's
Kick till Monday.
man, did I ever have problems with it? I had 890. How do you call them? They're adventure bikes.
Oh,
Because I used to live in the middle of nowhere. Like you would have cried going there with a Harley was not possible.
yeah, sure.
And as we're traveling the US, it made sense, right? They're super light too. Like they're like 350 pounds. So you
The torque
could-
the torque to weight ratio is fucking ridiculous on those.
oh bro, I would be on the highway going, let's say 70, 80 miles per hour. There's somebody in my way. It's rap.
Yeah.
You're like 100 miles per hour, and just the torque is amazing. Like those bikes do when they're working, they're absolutely amazing. No, but I'm telling you, man, you're laughing, but I had a 2022 KTM 890 Adventure, brand new. I'm the only guy that rode it. I buy one within a month and a half, the bike starts turning off for no reason. Literally, I'm on the highway, like it's in Canada, it's 1,000 kilometers, but you guys like 600 miles. You need to come back in. They do testing. They run a bunch of tests on it to make sure everything's good. They change the oil for the first time and all that stuff, and it kept on, like, literally I'm on the highway. You're going 60, 70 miles per hour. Yeah. How dangerous is that, right?
Yeah.
You're not very protected on a bike either, right?
Yeah.
So I bring it into the shop. They're like, they're a problem with the sensor for the key. So I'm like, you know what? Take it back. I don't want it. This is that could kill me. Like, are you kidding me?
Doing 60 miles an hour, slow down, guy run right into you.
So and you're dead, right? You know exactly how it is. You're flying, you're dead.
Yeah.
So they gave me a brand new one, and I had it. It looked like the Batman motorcycle. Like I had it stickered all black. Like there was no colors. There was nothing. Like it looked cool. But then, so we leave Canada about 14 months ago. I have the motorcycle. Obviously, I've been riding it for a few months, and we're in Arizona. We're in Yuma, Arizona. The bike starts. I sometimes the shifter goes solid. Like I can still clutch, but as soon as you hit the shifter, it's solid. Like it doesn't have any. I can't go up. I can't go down. I've learned how to start in fourth or fifth gear at a red light. It's just like you literally leave the clutch and you just and luckily those bike you can enable, like electronically you can disable wheelies, right? So I didn't have to worry. I could just crank it with no problem. But I bring it into the shop. I'm in Yuma. The closest shop is in Phoenix, which is a couple hours away. So put it on the back of the truck. I drive it there. It stayed there for 2 months. They couldn't figure out. They took it all apart. They couldn't figure out what the problem is. You know what they had to do? They had to change the full engine. They had to replace the engine. I think I had 2,000 miles on it, maybe.
Oh, time to move on, dude.
Well, and you know what the funniest thing is? This is funny. So for the first couple of weeks, I'm talking to the garage. I'm talking to KTM because it's under warranty, right? It's not even a year old. So I'm talking to KTM, and I took an extended warranty that covered North America because I got it in Canada, but I was riding it in the US and in Mexico. So they're like, no problem. So they tell me, they're like, we're not sure what the problem is. I was so annoying that they stopped responding to me. So customer service wouldn't respond to me anymore. The garage would not respond to me anymore. So you know what I did? I understand social media. So I sat down with my cell phone and I started complaining on my cell phone. And I'm just like, hey guys, if you're looking at buying a KTM, just don't do it. I bought a brand new 890 2022. The guys now it needs a new engine. We don't even know when it's going to get fixed. The guys are not responding to me anymore. So if you're looking for an adventure bike, be smart, go buy BMW.
Ooh.
I got about 1 million views on it. I tagged KTM. I tagged KTM Canada, US. I called KTM International. Somehow, the director of customer service North America calls me on my cell phone. So this is the power. Like, if you understand how social media works.
Oh, absolutely.
Social media for that is great, but
you could use it for the other way too.
But you know what's funny is that I'd have to go look again because it's been a while. Like the post is probably 6 months old. But last time I checked, I think I had 15 or 20,000 comments on it. And of those, at least 300 or 400 were, hey, bro, thanks a lot for letting me know. I was looking at that exact bike. Because of your comment, I'm not buying it. And you know what people would do? Every time they did that, they would tag KTM on it. So I know that's why they called me. I know for a fact that's why they called me.
So what was the resolution on that from the guy calling you?
They took it back. So the guy was trying to convince me to get another one because I told him, I'm like, hey, bro, the bike's 20 grand. Like, there's no way in the hell that I'm taking a bike that has a new engine after, let's say, 2,000 miles.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
especially a motorcycle.
You can keep your piece of crap. And one thing I did not know when I bought it, because it's Austrian, the brand, right? And it turned out that for the last few years, they've been building anything that is 890 and below. So the 1200 model is still built in Austria, but all the rest are built in China.
Ooh.
So they've been having problems upon problems upon problems upon problems.
Yeah.
And I bought it because it was a competition bike. Guys are crazy with those bikes. They do 200,
they're nasty.
200 kilometers per hour on rocks and sand. Like, the guys that ride these are nuts.
Yeah,
so I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to buy a bike, I'm going to buy something I really want. And like I said, when it was working, it was amazing. But then I got a 1999 all black and stainless Harley Davidson with about 20,000 miles on it. Paid $5,500.
What's the Sportster? Sportster?
No, Softail. No, like the 1380. It's 1380cc. It's either 1350 or 1380. I can't remember, but it's impeccable shape, and I paid less than $6,000 for it. It doesn't have the heart that a KTM would, like the torque. It is not. You're not riding the same way at all.
Well, I've been riding basically my entire adult life. I've ridden. I'm a Yamaha guy. I've owned a Honda one time, a 4-wheeler, because a guy gave me a good deal on it.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything's been Yamaha. And my first wife, I was looking online and there was a Raider, and Yamaha Raider, and that was their attempt at like a cruiser Harley type bike, right?
Sure.
1900 V twin, right? Belt drive.
Okay.
Fat tire on the back. The guy wanted next to nothing for it, and I was like looking online. I'm like, God, oh man, it's a smoking deal. Of course, my ex-wife's like, nah, we can't get that. And I said, fuck it. And a couple days later, I look back online. I go, man, that bike's gone. Somebody got a good bike. Sure enough, she bought it for me. Right.
Nice.
Surprised me with it. So
they're not expensive, huh?
Now it's about $11,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it in the garage. Not less than 2 weeks later, she pulls in the garage, flips.
Smash.
No, flips out, dude. Flips out. Because there's the bike sitting on a bike stand with nothing on it but the transmission in the frame. I stripped it right down to nothing.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah. So I take the motor to a buddy of mine, and I said, how big can you make this motor without fucking it up? He's like, seriously, dude, it's a 1900 fuel-injected V-twin. What else do you need? And I go, come on, bro. What can you do? So it ended up being just shy of 2,400 cc's.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to do all the electronic because of fuel injection, to compensate, doing all that crap, right? So I said, you know what? I always wanted to build a rat bike. So I said, all right, so I'm going to make this a rat bike. It's going to run like a rape fucking horse, but it's going to look like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That was my point. That was what I wanted to build. So I put a 220 back tire on it, made it a single seater, flat black. No, I started to take all the chrome off, 18-inch apes, big fat grips on it. And then I did not put the return spring back on the throttle. So when you're riding it, you gotta
so weird,
dude.
That's so weird.
Chop the pipes. The back pipe came out of the head, right? As soon as it cleared the head, as soon as it turned and went back, it was 4 inches long.
Damn.
Dude, coming out of that big motor.
So it was noisy as hell, is what you're saying.
Oh, it was noisy. So I would sit at a light and it would sound like a drag car. It would, it sounded like it was going to stall at any minute, right? It just, make all that
Love
noise.
the sound, though.
Dude,
Love the sound.
breathe. All you had to do was breathe on the throttle. Fuck, every car alarm in the 4-block radius was going off, and I'm like, that's amazing. And nobody wanted to ride it, which I'm like,
why
fine,
not?
dude, fine.
I would ride it right now. Are you kidding me?
Oh, right. But dude, I'm telling you what, because it was 5-speed, 1 down, 4 up, scared the fuck out of me, dude. Every time I rode it, that thing was
too powerful.
It was dude, I think I had 135 pounds of torque to the back wheel at like 1800 RPMs. Come on, dude. What the hell do you need that for?
You're the one that built it, man.
Well, that's who, and we were joking, and I made like a little sign, and it said, this bike took 1,800 beers to build, right? Because, as you're working on it, you're always cracking beers open. And, well, at the time, I'm sober now, and then.
Did you sell it? Do you still have it, or you sold it?
No, so that was in Colorado, and, but the sticker I wanted to have was, I always told my buddies, I go, I want to build a bike that scares children, makes women wet, and make guys go, I ain't touching that fucking thing. That was my goal on building a bike. So I did it. And I got a job opportunity. I moved to New Jersey, right? And I'm like, I'm not taking this bike. I'm not going to ride this bike on the streets of Jersey. That's straight up suicide, that type of bike.
You mean you're going to get killed?
Huh?
You're going to get run over?
Oh, dude, it's brutal out here, man. Brutal.
This is one thing that people that don't ride don't understand.
No. And my next, because every winter I would do a major project to it, right? So the winter that was coming up before I moved, because I moved like super quick within a couple weeks, I was going to put a suicide shift on it with a hand clutch.
A hand clutch?
Yeah. So the suicide. Oh, dude, it's a fucking. There's no reason to do that, but I was going to do it because, So on the side, obviously it would be on my left side, and the shifter would come up, and then you'd have a hand clutch just like you would. So you got one hand on the throttle, and you got one hand on the handle of the suicide clutch. So you'd let off the throttle, pull it like a handle, and so the whole time you're driving with one hand. The fucked up part about that is, you looking one up?
Yep. Yeah, because I have no idea what it is.
Dude, the fucked up part about that is if you end up on a hill, you're done. And have the hand clutch, suicide shift with a hand clutch with 18-inch apes.
But why?
Exactly. No, that's exactly why.
Like, why?
Dude, that was my goal. But anyway, because I was in a part of my life that was just and I never wore, at that point, I never wore a helmet. Even growing up, my mom said, don't you dare sit on a motorcycle or ATV, whatever, snowmobile, all the shit that we had. Don't even sit on it without a helmet. Don't you fucking ever ride and then, but again, my attitude at that time. So I just wore this little tiny conductor hat, like a train conductor. Yeah. My leather vest, dude.
Serves no purpose at all.
Oh, no. I look cool, dude.
Yeah. Hand clutching like a maniac.
Dude, can you imagine riding that thing, that big a bike with a fucking hand clutch? It makes no sense, but anyway.
I'm looking at them right now and I don't see it. I don't see why somebody would do that.
We'll do that. Yeah.
I don't get it.
But that's the kind, but I had street bikes. I had, I've crashed a bunch on not on purpose, but, me doing stupid shit. But a couple of years ago, my wife and I went to San Francisco and I rented a street, no, not street glide. There's a street glide. Big Harley to go down the coastal highway to San Diego.
Yep.
Dude, I got up to speed. It had 400 miles on it. As soon as I got up to speed, the handlebars were shaking. I was like, this is a brand new fucking bike, dude.
Why?
I don't know. I just kept riding it. It wasn't that bad, right? I mean, but I was like, I got it for a day and a half, so I'll deal with it. The power plant on that thing was amazing. Oh my God, dude. That was cool. No wonder people like that. But,
I don't know what I would get, man. Like if I were to buy another bike, I don't know what I would get.
Oh, I'm V twin till the day I die. I would never get anything other than a V twin. Gotta be a cruiser, dude. Gotta be a cruiser. And
what do you consider a cruiser? Like a Harley style?
Like you're riding.
Yeah,
It's a cruiser.
Because that one's a V12. It's a V twin too. But I don't know, man. I want a collection. Like I don't care for cars. I really care. Cars to me are utilitarian. Like
dude, I love that you say that.
I need a truck to pull my trailer, and that's it. The rest I could not give two shits about it. But motorcycle.
Oh, dude!
I would have 20 of them. Like I want to have some for colors of my shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, I have black shoes. I'm gonna wear. Which black motorcycle do I take?
Oh, dude! If I could have 6 or 7 different bikes, that would be amazing. But when we were doing that, we come down the coastal highway, which is phenomenal. It was a great ride. We came out of L.A. on the 405. I'm in the far right lane. Just cruising, got Kid Rock pumping on the stereo. Life is good. This motherfucker merges at 70 miles an hour and wipes us out.
Your wife was on it too?
Yeah. Sent us sprawling across 70 miles an hour, sent us sprawling across 405 traffic. 5 lanes. Couple bikes showed up and couple guys on bikes showed up and they put their bikes across the lane so nobody would
just run you over.
Yeah, because I'm like, the last thing I'm going to look at is a fucking grill of a Range Rover. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I looked back and I saw that my wife was off the road and she was standing on the shoulder of the road.
So she was okay.
Yeah, we both did all right. But what made me think about it, and I got beat up a little bit, but made me think about it was a helmet. I had my little skull helmet on. And I didn't even notice, because I was pissed, dude, about this guy cutting us off. Dude, I was upset. So these guys helped me get the bike off, because what happened was the fender crushed onto the front wheel, so we couldn't just push it off the bike. Couldn't roll it.
It was stuck to the actual truck.
Well, no, I tumbled down and it slid, and then I got it up off on 2 wheels. But I couldn't roll it because the fender crushed on top of the wheel and it wouldn't.
Oh, gotcha. So so it's not even the car. So it's literally the motorcycle that's scratched on itself. Okay,
yeah. And these guys helped me get off, dude. I walked up to that guy and I take my helmet off and I got it pulled back like this. And I was going to fucking hit him. Dude, all in the old Walt came out and I'm like, you put my wife in you mother.
Yep.
And my wife steps in, cool as can be, and she takes control and calm me down, which is cool. She's a rock star. And I looked down at my helmet, dude. Probably quarter of it, maybe more than a quarter of it, completely flat.
So it saved your life, basically.
Saved my life. Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that little fucking knucklehead helmet. Yep.
That's why if there's one thing I don't mess around,
helmet, dude.
I've stumbled before. I burned my hands. Like now I'm tattooed up on top of it, so you don't see it. But nice. I burned my hands. I destroyed my knees.
Yeah, same here.
But you know what though? At least I'm gonna always wear a full face. I will never mess around with that because man, our head is not that tough. As much as they say it's the hardest bone in the body.
Nothing
you have no chance. You're going 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. You go flying. I'm not even too worried about, it's not the fall that worries me. It's the incoming traffic.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's what I was scared of. I thought I was just going to get run over, dude. But and then I had my old, because, for 20 plus years, I wore a vest. I was a vest guy.
Yeah.
So what I wore was it's a true motorcycle vest.
Yeah.
And then I wore like a heavy flannel shirt underneath it. That was my thing.
Sure.
And so I had my vest on, and it was more nostalgic because I'm like, fuck, dude, I ain't rode in a couple of years. I got to take my vest, dude. Got to get some wind in it. Dude, the back of that looked like a fuck.
It was all burnt.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's extremely heavy leather and stuff, but it's marked up. If that wasn't there, my back would have been just fucking shredded. Yeah. I mean, there's safety gear for a reason. They make that stuff for a reason,
Last time I had an accident a few years back, country road going probably 60 miles, no reason. The bike just, I'm in a curve, and I must have caught, the new repairs that they do to asphalt. Everything's normal, but there's that repair in the middle of a and curve.
It's like slick black.
Exactly. Yeah. I end up I'm going forward. The back is next to me. Like my head is here and the back is like this. So I'm like, okay, I'm very cool under pressure. So I'm like, okay, I got two choices here. I either fall on my left, the bike falls on top of me, or I choose right now to just let myself fall on the right side and just let go of the bike. And that's what I did, right? I just let it go. Luckily, there was nobody on the other side, but the bike ends up in somebody's front yard, right? And I'm an old fighter, bro. I'm like, I've been getting banged up since I'm like 4 years old. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I had the full helmet. I had the full jacket. So I have back protection, elbow protection. Like I'm covered. Yeah. My left boot is exploded. Like it literally, I can put my hand through the boot. Oh. The pants on the left side are all destroyed. Like you see, I'm bleeding from my kneecap. My hands are burnt. It was like 30 degrees outside. So I was stuck in traffic like an hour prior to that. So I had taken the gloves off because it's just so warm. Yeah. But all the top of my hands were all burnt. The parts of my arms are burnt, but I almost had nothing. My knuckles were busted up. But it's funny because the people that came out were more flipping out than me. Like I'm used to getting injured, but the people, are you okay? Because all they heard is boom. They just heard and I'm going like this, and you're this, and it's bleeding everywhere because it's burning, right? So I'm like this, but I'm kind of shaking, right? So I look at the bike and I'm like, man, I can't get scared of my bike. No. So I jumped back on the bike. It was all fucked up. The front wheel was jaggeded, like it was I got back on the bike. I rode it another, I think it's about 45 minutes to get back home.
That's awesome.
But I had to, because I know how those things work. If you and I don't want to get scared of a bike. Like, come on, it's too fun to ride. And how many people have I heard that they rode for years, everything's cool, they get into one accident and then they're scared. They're scared shitless of their bikes and they get rid of them.
So after this accident that I just told you about, people ask my wife, because she's ridden with me very little, because I wasn't riding a lot when we got together and stuff, but obviously she trusts me and stuff, and she knows that I'm a rider. But people are like, oh my God, are you ever going to ride again? And my wife goes, if that bike was ready, I would have jumped back on it and we kept going. And I'm like, my baby. And I'm the same way. And people are like, well, how come?
But you have to.
People are like, how come? Got in a great conversation one time with a lady, and she's like, how many times have you crashed? I go, I don't know, probably 7 or 8. I mean, probably 4 or 5, like really serious. And she's like, you still ride? And I go, absolutely. Because going what you said, I ride all this time on just priceless experiences. You can't put a dollar on it, right?
Nope.
If you ride, you understand what I'm talking about. 100%. If you don't ride, there's just absolutely no way you can conceive what I'm talking about.
Nope.
So I crash, right? So say whatever happens, I crash. In my mind, I want to get right back like you did. I want to get right back on the bike. 100%. Obviously I can't. Mechanically, the bike doesn't work.
That's a bit of a different story. Yeah.
Right. But get going back on a bike, and I go. And she's like, "Why do you keep doing that?" I go, because between crash number 3 and crash number 4, my experiences in the places that I went on a motorcycle and the people that I've met and just countless things that we could talk about, I would have never had those.
No.
If I didn't get back on the bike and do it.
No.
Because a bike takes you to places that you would never imagine going ever in the world. And you'll go there on a motorcycle. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fraction of what we could talk about. I mean, I could talk to you for 10 hours about motorcycles, but
The thing about motorcycle that riders will never, that people that don't ride will never understand is the fact that there's so much danger riding it makes you have to pay attention to it. And it is exactly a state of meditation to me.
100%.
I'll be there riding one hand, just holding the bike. I'm in my wife beater shorts. I have a full helmet because I want to protect my head, but I don't care about the rest. Whatever.
Chick sticks cars, bro. Chick sticks cars, but
and I'm just riding, and there's nothing to it. There's absolutely nothing. Wife beater, pair of jeans, your little Converses, and you're just, there's nothing like it.
Dude, I would be Chucks, jeans, t-shirt, no at the time, no helmet. One hand up on a fucking 18-inch apes, loud fucking bike, dude, you just, oof. Again, dude, I love motorcycles, man. I love them.
I'm a big fan of deep sea diving too. Like I'm an advanced diver.
Fucking
exactly. That creeps a lot of people,
dude. I got goosebumps. Fuck you, dude. In that,
this is something
I'm claustrophobic. So
yeah, it's something that is. It took me a while to get used to it. I was not enjoying it, but it's very similar when you're. Imagine that you're 50, 60, 70 feet underwater and you hear nothing outside of your breathing because there's no everything's muffled down there, right?
Yeah, sure.
And you realize like you're down there and you're like, I don't belong here. There's no way for me to survive here without the equipment that I have. And if that equipment fails, I'm fucked. But it is so interesting to be somewhere that you don't belong.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have, a couple years back, I was on a motorcycle trip. Actually, I left for 3 weeks by myself. I packed 100 pounds of gear on the bike, and I just left. And I ended up riding thousands and thousands of kilometers, and I end up in a town that's on the water. And turns out that they dive. Like I parked the bike at the tent place. Like my tent is set up. I leave the bag there and I start walking in town, and turned out that they had they were diving there, and they have those how do you call those? They look like dogs, man. They look like underwater dogs. They act the same way too, but we're underwater and you have this 300-400 pound animal that's tugging on my fins. And before we went diving, they told us, he's like, we're in the time of the year they like to play with humans. So if you feel something tugging on you, don't freak out, like be relaxed or else you're going to scare them.
What the hell's down there? What the hell's down there tugging on you, dude? You got to look, dude, we can't go any further without.
Dude,
that freaks me out just thinking about it.
And I have it on camera too. Like I always dive with a GoPro just in case something happens.
Dude, of course.
Oh, bro, I've dove in Cozumel. I did free diving with shark whales. I don't know if you know how big that is. It's something like
I know what you're talking about.
I don't want to lie, but it's probably 50, 60 feet long, maybe more. Like it is,
dude. How humbling is that? You're floating in the water and this thing. Oh well, that happened to me. I was high as fuck though, dude. So.
Did it actually happen? No,
I don't know. I was
a sea lion. Is it a sea lion? Yeah, I think it is a sea lion. That's what I was talking about.
I was
no, the sea lion is a small one.
I was in Maui, and I was high as fuck, and I was not scuba diving. I was snorkeling. And if you're off the coast of Maui, and if the geography like underwater, it could go like 10 feet deep, and then it'll be like 100 feet deep, and then
love it.
48 feet out, it's 10 feet deep again, right? So it's it's that type of thing. So I'm just doing my thing, and something fucking huge goes under me in the water, and I'm staring down, and I'm like, and it was whale season. So I assume it was a whale, but again, I was hot. I was fucking barbecued, dude. So I can't. I can't.
They were seals. So if
Seals.
it's a seal that was tugging on my fins, and man, they're
That doesn't freak you out?
No, I'm used to. I love animals, bro. Like,
oh yeah,
I've dove all over the place, and if there's one thing, the reason I dive is because of the animals. I don't care for the fauna. I just like to interact with
another life form, right?
That I would never meet in
other than.
If it wasn't for the technology that we have to go down there, and it's amazing. I have it on my GoPro, and all you see is I didn't have the filters. I was never expecting to be diving, so I didn't have the red filters to kind of give it the proper light, so everything looks green. But it tugged on my fin. I knew exactly what it was as soon as he did it, because I've dove enough to know that this never happened to me, and I've never dove with seals before. So I'm like, I turn around, but I'm like a little girl, bro. I'm like, and I'm just playing with it. Like I'm pulling on my fin and I'm giving it back to him, and he's just having fun. And at one point I was too excited, and he kind of got scared of me. But man, I dove with seals. I dove with actual sharks. Like I have some videos. There's like 20-30 sharks around us, and they're just there. They're just having fun like we're having fun. I've dove with shark whales. I've dove with man, how do you call those? They're massive. They look. It's what the stingrays. I've dove with stingrays. I've dove with all. It's amazing what you meet out underwater, man.
I was paddleboarding down in Key West, and we dealt with some manta rays. Those were pretty cool.
Manta rays.
Yeah, they just look like a big. It's like a big fat blob, and they're super gentle, and they don't mean any.
Yeah. Like a stingray. I've dove with manta rays.
They're like a. I don't know what the picture looks like, but yeah, I remember seeing those. And no, manta ray, is that what they're called? What the hell were they called?
Yeah, manta rays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just you have a weird accent, says the French guy.
Says the French. There's the pot calling the kettle black.
Exactly. But manta rays. Yeah.
Manta ray.
The same day, literally the same time I dove with that shark whale, I saw a manta ray that must have been. Right now they're talking. I'm just looking at the stats. They're saying that it goes up to about 26 feet long in a wingspan, and that sounds about right. Like I dove. Yeah, I've done it multiple times. Yeah, they're massive. But
they're super gentle, right?
Oh, yeah. Most animals. This is a misconception that we have. Like even sharks, they don't normally attack humans. Like it's mistaken identity. Mm-hmm. It happens mostly to surfers because underwater
they look like
boards a bug. Exactly. They look like something that they're not.
Now I was told, or I read, or I don't know where I got it from, that a shark can. The reason you see them like bite tires, or like if they bite you, but then you get away, right? Because if a shark is hungry, he's gonna fucking eat you, dude. You're done. You stand
no chance.
You stand no chance, right?
No.
So if he bites you and goes away, they apparently have these senses in their mouth or somewhere, in their teeth, gums, whatever, that they bite you, and immediately tells the shark that, or if it needs it for consumption. Like it'll bite a tire and be like, no, you don't eat that. Like it'll bite you and be like,
I'm gonna have to check that out. That's interesting.
Something. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, it was. I was like, that's why people survive a shark attack.
Possible.
Because they'll bite it. They'll bite them and go, oh man, I don't need that right now. Because they don't. I guess they don't eat to. Like us humans, we eat just to eat, right?
Yeah.
To where most animals in the animal kingdom eat when they need to, which is most of the time because they don't have
a refrigerator with food in it.
Exactly. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But if a shark is of abundance and he doesn't need it, he goes over and tests it and be like, no, I don't need that. I don't know. I heard that. And somebody can fact check me. That's fine.
It's possible because they're extremely developed. One thing that people don't understand, that they've been around forever.
Oh, longer than dinosaurs, right?
They were around when the dinosaurs were there. So they're basically the oldest creature still living today, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm pretty sure there was a shark that it's in the Canadian waters that's something like 350 or 400 years old. He was around when Napoleon was still ruling. No, but it's messed up, right?
Right. To think that.
And it's massive shark. It's all full of battle scars. Like it is fucked up. So they say here Greenland sharks are known to be the longest living vertebrae in the world, reaching ages of between 270 and 500 years.
Could you imagine 500 years, dude?
Yeah, bro.
Well, the thing is, though, okay, so here's something. Does a shark, obviously we could never know this, but does a shark have the same concept of time as we do?
It's a good question.
We say 500 years and we're like, oh my God, that's a long time. But a shark might be, there's no concept. They just chug along until they're done, right?
But I don't know, man. The studies are coming out right now that sharks are extremely intelligent, that there's ways we can communicate with them. Same thing with whales. Well, just earlier today, Joe Rogan posted something on his Facebook. I'm going to go check it out right now, but it was saying that they found out a way to, because Joe Rogan's pretty out there, right? Like he posts a lot of shit about a lot of shit. And I don't normally scroll people what they're doing, but he posted something that was along those lines where scientists had a groundbreaking conversation with a humpback whale in her own language, and it could help human chat with alien one day.
How the fuck do you know that, dude?
How
do you know dude? How do you know it's its own language?
Oh, but this they've done though. It's the same thing. I was watching something the other day where they were talking about weird laws that makes no sense, and supposedly that in the U.S. it is illegal to try to communicate with dolphins. Do you know they're super intelligent? Like extremely intelligent. You know that they can talk hundreds, if not thousands, of miles. They can communicate, and the same video, the guy was explaining that dolphins supposedly can talk to. They're not individuals. It's supposedly that they're a common consciousness. That all the individual dolphins are just part of a whole. They're always all communicating. Connected. Exactly.
I can see that.
I have to go more into it because I see those types of videos and I'm like, no, I got to stop because this is a dark hole. I'm going to start researching it. I'm going to obsess for it. No, like this is a rabbit hole for me, and I've been down way too many of those.
No, I like to go wide but not deep in conversation, right? So have like lots of conversations, but if I go down those rabbit holes, it's 3 days later and I'm like, holy shit, what the hell did I just spend 3 days doing? But the thing is, though, I think it's dolphins that they say it blows up the theory of size of brain for intelligence. Because I guess they got a little brain compared to the size of their body, right?
Do they? I always thought they had a big brain.
I don't know. Look that up. I think
that's what I'm doing right now, man.
Look it up.
Dolphins are blah blah blah, larger than those of chimpanzee. Brain typically weigh 1,600 grams. 1,600 grams, and a human being. No, they have larger brains than we do. They're 1,600 grams. We're 1,300. They're 1,600. So they're like 10%.
But isn't a grown dolphin like 500-600 pounds? So if you go by like its body weight compared to the size of its brain.
Well, I would argue that a lot of Americans are around that weight too.
Dude,
I would have to.
Bang! I got nothing on that, dude.
No, bro.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
We're talking about. You look at so a dusky dolphin's 280 pounds, dolphins 240. So unless you're it's a massive dolphin.
250?
You're talking between like 250 to 300 pounds, give or take, like the regular dolphins that we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
But hey, man, have you ever seen a pink dolphin?
Pink.
The color pink. Yes.
There's a dirty joke there somewhere, dude. I just can't put it together right away.
No, they exist. I've seen them.
I know, but I was going to make a dirty joke about pink dolphin. Like,
yeah, well, but have you ever seen a pink dolphin? That's messed up.
Yeah, that'd be kind of creepy, right?
They're not pretty. They look like the retarded cousin. You know, the one that was left, that was dropped a few times. He didn't mature properly. Like,
and you only see him on major holidays, right?
Yeah. The rest of the time he's in the basement. Yeah.
Sleeping in the divot in the ground.
Oh yeah. There's no light, no nothing. He's not allowed to talk. But they're messed up. But all to say that, man, 240. I'm like 210 right now, and the average American, like 42% of Americans are obese. 30% are overweight, so 240 pounds is not that heavy.
Not that big.
So they have a bigger brain to body ratio than we.
Yeah.
It seems that we're pretty the same.
Dude, I according to my doctor, I'm morbidly obese.
Are you? How much do you weigh?
272.
And how tall are you?
6 foot.
Man, you're a big boy.
With a 36-inch waist.
Oh, so you're not that fat.
No, I don't have no.
But that's the thing. I'm considered between. I'm just on the cusp of being between obese and overweight. But I'm 6'1", 210, 215, but I carry maybe a 31-inch waist. Like I've always had a small waist, but my muscle ratio for my height doesn't make sense, right? I should be like 175 pounds.
Yeah, according to that, I should be like 180, 185.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be like, I look like a cancer patient if I'm 185 pounds, dude.
Bro, I used to fight at 165.
God damn, dude, you shredded.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I would walk around maybe 190, 195. I'd lose about 25, 30 pounds on diet in about 8 weeks.
Ooh. Yeah. Dude, I was at my biggest, I was 285 with 12% body fat.
12% is good. That's what I normally average, like about 12%.
Yeah, but at 285 pounds?
You big boy.
I was a big boy.
But that's too big, though.
It's too big. And the amount of work it took to be that. My alarm would go off at 3 a.m. I got to get up and eat. Fuck, dude. I don't know why I was doing it, but
there's a couple of years ago, I did a podcast with he was the number 1 Canadian strongman in the world. Back then, he was ranked number 2 or number 3. He's 6'4", 360.
God, fucking
like
mountain,
I'm not
dude.
a small guy. I'm bigger than the average, and I got pictures with him. I'm like, I look like I'm on crack. Like,
yeah.
But dude, the guy is massive. Like the hands is just
Like I say, I mean, I displace air when I walk into a room, right?
Yep.
I mean, but when I'm next to some of these guys, I'm like.
He was telling me that in order to keep his shape, because he said that when he was younger, he was my size. So he was not born a big guy. He grew that. And he was explaining that every time he eats, in French, we call it bouchon. He does it until he had to plug himself, basically.
I've done that.
He eats to the plug every day, every meal. It's like, you can't eat anymore.
Yep. For probably about a 8-month period in my life, I was doing that. So, like, I would say, okay,
why?
Exactly. But
because that can't be good for you. Like, there's no way that's good for you.
No, because what shocked me was not this morning, yesterday morning. I get done with so you're a fighter and you're physical health, right? Mm-hmm. So I do a little heavier cardio on some days. I go in. I never have a routine, dude. I go in and I do what I feel like doing. I'm at that point in my life. Yeah. And so I would jump rope for 45 seconds. And then we call them monkey bars, right? They're probably 30 feet long.
Yep.
Do the monkey bars, drop down, do 20, 25 clapping push-ups, push the sled down to the other end and repeat. And I would just sit there and do that, and I was feeling good. And then I go and move some iron, I push some weight, and I was just feeling good, dude. I was like, man, I feel good. My shirt.
One of those days, eh?
Yeah, and I was just like, man, I look good, man. I was like, God damn, I look good. I said, my shirt fits in all the right spots. I ain't weighed myself in like 5 months. I'm going to see how much I weigh. Pow, 272. And I went, all right. I didn't expect that, but all right. I was hoping I'd be down to, 245, 250, but I look at it as that I feel good. I move good. I sleep good.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I don't like wake up choking and coughing, because, those big guys, they need a sleep apnea and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that issue. I sleep like a fucking dude. I'm out cold every night. And
yeah, there's a fine line. There's a
really so I'm like, you know what? I get 2 physicals a year because I drive trucks, so I have to get a state physical. But then I do a physical with my local doctor every year, dude. And every year they're like, "Why are you even here?
You're good to go."
Yeah. So I'm like, weight's a number, bro. Fuck it.
It depends on the person. It depends the type of weight that it is too.
Well,
if you're 30-40% body fat, there's a problem.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
There's a massive problem.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be that fat.
No. I mean, I think, what is it? A healthy man, okay, say average man of 6 foot, a couple 100 pounds maybe, carries what, 15, 20%? That's healthy.
But it depends. The thing is what's considered healthy today was not considered. Not healthy 20, 30, 40 years ago.
No.
Like, you just look at the pictures. Just look at the pictures of people at the beach 40 years ago. When I was a kid, there wasn't people weren't obese.
No.
You had exceptions, but today, literally 42% of Americans are obese, 30% are overweight. So there's only 28% of us that are considered in good physical shape. And you're not talking 6-pack with veins everywhere hitting the gym 6 times a week. You're just talking about like somebody like my girlfriend, for example. That's all. She's what, 5'6", 5'5". She weighs about 115, 120 pounds. She just eats well. She doesn't really go to the gym. She's not somebody that overeats. She's not somebody that eats a lot of crap. She eats properly, right?
Right. Well, what is it? They say if you go to the gym or do some kind of physical workout 4 days a week, consistently for like 6 months, you're less than 1% of the population.
So one of my a guy that I met did an interview with Grant Cardone. And Cardone, like, the guy is like 23 years old. So Cardone's like, do you have abs? And he's like, yeah, of course I have abs. Like, the guy's
23.
I met him, but I met him at the gym. Like, the guy's a monster. So he's like, of course I have abs, and he shows his abs, right? And Cardone looks at him and is like, did you know that 1 out of 10 Americans is a millionaire, but less than 1% of Americans have abs?
No shit.
It's 10 times harder to have abs than it is to make
$1 million.
And yet, everybody out there, not everybody has what it takes to make $1 million.
No, of course not.
But everybody has what it takes to have abs.
No, I tell them, get in the kitchen.
But that's all it is,
dude. When I was 285,
all it is,
dude. When I was 285, I didn't have abs. I got a barrel.
Yeah.
It's as hard as a brick.
Yeah.
But there's no abs there.
But that's the hardest thing to have, are abs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't eat properly for a week. I normally keep around 10, right? Like 10, 11%. I don't eat properly for a week. My abs starts disappearing.
No,
like
shit.
it's
that
so
quick.
Oh, absolutely. I eat like that. But the trick, the thing that everybody should do is intermittent fasting.
I know. I keep hearing about that. I think
I've been doing it for 6 years, maybe more. I lost count, but I've been doing it forever.
What's your timeline?
It depends. I often do, like, normally they say 16-8, like 16 hours you're not eating and 8 hours you're eating, but most of the time I end up being 18, 20 hours I don't eat. And I just work a lot, so I tend to just
I do this. My wife gets upset.
And I finish after the gym. Like, I'm so used to it that the last thing I do before eating is hit the gym. So I hit the gym on
an empty stomach
at the end with 16, 18 hours of fasting. And I've been doing this for years.
Yeah,
and what I started doing this year, though, I started adding 3 to 5 day fasts every few months. Like, I'm going to start next year. Like, I'm going to start January with a 5. with a 5-day fast.
Just none but liquid.
Nothing but no, just water and coffee.
Yeah, liquid.
Like no calories at all, right?
Right.
But it is amazing what it does to your body. That's one of the things that people don't understand is, we eat all the time. We get up. People people think that eating means you're having a meal. No. If you're having calories, your body's working. You have to burn. Your body starts digesting. So whatever crap you put in your coffee, that's calories. So most people never go in a state of not eating at all. Like zero. When your body takes between 4 to 8 hours to digest your food, depending on what you're eating and depending on the body, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that means that people, their body are always working. Their stomach is always working. Their intestines are always working. They're never getting a break. And this is why 16 hours, you're giving your body a break. So that means that every day for at least 8 hours, my stomach, my intestine, everything is just
chilling,
resting, but it recuperates.
Like
I have to get back into it because I've done it for so long that I don't remember the studies, but there are so many studies what they show about the state of ketosis. Like everybody knows the keto diet. But what's interesting is that you get better result of ketosis, which ketosis just means that your body, instead of burning carbs for fuel, it's burning fat. So the idea is that you eat so much, you don't eat a lot of carbs, so that you eat a higher amount of fat, which will tell your body, look for fat, so it will burn. So that's the keto diet. But when you do fasting, you hit ketosis about, I think it's 12 hours. 12 hours into your fasting, your body start turning. It's between 12 and 18. But after 3 days, I really have to get back into the studies, but your body starts regenerating itself.
Yeah, right. So you don't know for sure, but I understand
it's 3 to 5.
It's 3 to 5 days where
3 to 5. There's a guy that I follow on Instagram. He's a doctor out of Florida. He explains that if you fast 1 or 2 times a year, as in a 5 to 7 day fast, you reduce it's something ridiculous, like 60 or 70% less time, like you're 60 to 70% time less likely to have cancer because you're allowing your body to recuperate.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the studies. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. He's a great dude. Like we've spoken a few times. That's all he talks about, and it's amazing. Like what you can do by just controlling the amount of food that you eat, the time at which you eat
it.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
I've done fasting, but not on purpose. To where, like you said, I would get going at work, and I'll go 12, 15 hours without eating. Yeah, like, oh shit, man, I'm kind of hungry, and then I'll eat something. I should try it. Try it.
Like, check out this guy on Instagram. The name of the guy is the Panda Man official. He's a beast. Like he's in his advanced 40s. That's all he talks about. Like he only talks about fasting. That's all he does.
Panda Man, like the
panda as in the animal.
Yeah.
Man official.
Good.
He's a super cool dude on top of that. Like we speak, like I really want to meet the guy. But man, what he talks about is incredible. That's not the doctor guy. That's just a guy that he just talks about health, especially for guys above 40.
Yeah.
Like, I think he talks about TRT as well. I think that's something that he talks about a lot too.
Yeah, that's a bridge that a lot of people won't go across either. Because
have you ever tried it?
No. I understand, and I know the benefits, and I understand all that. It just hasn't crossed my plate yet at this point. But I was looking at some of that as I'm getting older. I'm 48, and I'm like, I'd like to get a little boost here and there, but I'll see what happens.
This year, one of my goals was to get in the best shape of my life. So I did the blood test since the first time since since I finished fighting, right? And when you're fighting, the blood test is just to make sure that you don't have
juicing, yeah.
no, but not only that, but you don't have any diseases that you could
pass along.
actually pass along through the blood, right? So
Right.
they don't do testing of the blood in a way that they're looking at your levels to try to see if you're there's not a battery of tests where they're making sure that you're healthy. It's just making sure that you're not going to pass something to somebody else.
That's your job to make
exactly.
sure you're healthy.
So I did do the tests. So I did the blood tests and all that stuff for myself. There's another guy that the name is Pradip, Pradip, Jamdasam.
Jesus.
He's an Indian guy. He's from Orlando, Florida, but it's Pradip, JAMNADAS MD. The guy that is
MD.
MD as a medical doctor, yeah.
Okay.
He's the guy that I was telling you. That dude talks about fasting. Like, he has presentations on YouTube. They're an hour and a half long. The guy is amazing. He knows his shit. And he's super cool. Like, the way he talks, he looks like a super cool dude. But he is, what he talks about is absolutely amazing. The fasting is just gonna change your life.
I gotta try it. And I'm a big poker player, and in the past with playing in tournaments, I'll go 15, 18 hours without eating either because I'm playing poker, and I don't even think about it. So I don't think fasting would be that much of a stretch for me.
The thing about fasting and the Panda Man, the guy I was telling you to go check out, he talks about this all the time, where it's more than just not eating. It's resolve. It's something that most people are not capable of doing. How many times have you heard people, I feel weak? No, you don't. It's bullshit. It's just you don't like to be hungry because you've never been hungry in your life. You've always had food available. But when you consider it, what's extraordinary is after 3 days of fasting, you get a boost in energy. The first 2 days are tough because it's weird. It's weird not to eat.
Well, you're going through, especially if you're a caffeine addict like me, you're going through withdrawals and you're getting headaches. And
no, but you can drink. You can drink coffee. There's no problem with drinking coffee.
I can't drink coffee, dude.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan, but
I love coffee. That is my biggest addiction is coffee.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, though, after 3 days, you get a boost in energy. Your mind gets clearer. It's very strange, but I'm pretty sure it's a doctor I was telling there that he explains that, remember, like, because our body hasn't really changed. Like, we've only had, if you look, we've only really been growing our food as our main source of food for 6,000 years, maybe.
Yeah, so
our body has not evolved since then. So our body is still used to not eating all the time, to not having food available, right. So that when you start getting hungry and you're hungry, you're like, oh yeah, I really need to find food. So he explains that after 3 days, what would happen if you got weaker? You wouldn't be able to find food. So after 3-4 days of not having food, you die. So somehow your body kicks it up a notch after 3 days. It makes your mind more accurate, like sharper. Your body feels energized.
Yeah.
To make sure that you catch food. It's very strange, but it's very cool feeling though.
Well, it's kind of like a last ditch. Hey man, we're going to get all this. We're going to
need to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to do it.
Here, I'm going to give you the energy and heighten your senses because you need to catch something and eat it.
But it is something like the other guy was saying. It allows me to always be fighting my body. Like my mind is always fighting what my body is saying. Like the last time I did fasting, I lost consciousness after 4.5 days. Like I don't know what the hell was going on because I've never had problems doing 3 days. So I was doing a 5.
Right.
And I felt like, I'm a bit woozy. I go to the bathroom, and luckily I'm in an RV, so the bathroom is not very big, right? I'm a big guy, so I take a lot of space in the bathroom. So
you fell against the wall and slid down?
I finished peeing. I go to wash my hands. I wake up. I'm sitting on the tub. I'm like, what the fuck?
What? Oh, no shit.
But I felt like, and I just, luckily the bath is super shallow. So
Yeah.
by me just sitting on it, I just fall back. My shoulders hit they hit
wall and-
the wall in the back, so I'm okay. But I'm like, yeah, maybe it's time for me to eat. Like
Yeah.
you can fight
You
your
might-
body all you want, but when it shuts down on you, it's time for you to
You
eat.
might want to go get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
As soon as I started eating, perfect. Like right away, I
Yeah,
was
right
okay.
away.
So I did something wrong because you're supposed to drink water with salt in it because you need the what do you call it, the minerals. So you have
Mhm. Sure.
you drink salt, you drink soda, baking soda, and you have magnesium.
Magnesium.
So those are the three things you're supposed in your water. You're supposed to drink a lot of water, obviously, but you're supposed to add these minerals to your water to make sure that you don't get dehydrated.
Right, because just plain water. You ever see that TV show Alone, where they drop guys out and ladies too, but they drop people out in the middle of nowhere, and you can only take like a certain amount of items with you.
Yep.
This one dude took salt.
Yep, and people were probably like, "What the hell's wrong?" with
Yeah, and
you?
he's like, "No, dude, no, dude, I need it for my body, and this, that, and plus it makes it food taste good." I was like,
100%. I got
I
a
was like,
buddy
"That's
of
pretty
mine that actually was supposed to go, but his son was just about to get to be born. And
"Oh,
when
yeah,
you go,
don't want to do that. Yeah, you
No,
don't want to have
because-
that on you."
and he's good. That's what he does. Like he teaches survivalists. So he would have been great at it, but he's like, I would have been gone for months. For me to win the show, you would have been
you
gone
gotta
for
be
a
gone.
long time.
Yeah,
So he's like, I would have missed my son's birth, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
you don't
can't
wanna
do that.
nah,
But
fuck him.
But man, I spent some. He's a guy I met through martial arts. We used to train together all the time. Like I would teach him Muay Thai. He would help me on the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and we spent a few days, him and I, in the woods with like a knife. And it's just like I'm gonna show you how to find water. I'm gonna show you how to build a shelter. I'm gonna show you how to understand what's going on around you, because those are skills we should, like every man should have, right?
Well, every man has them. You just got to sharpen them and bring them out of your DNA.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But there's a few things you need to learn. Like,
No, of course. But I was going to ask you, when you said fighting Muay Thai.
Yep.
I was a Kenpo guy, Ed Parker style.
So traditional Kempo, not that fake crap that they teach here in North America, like the real
Dude,
stuff.
No, dude, this was let's go back behind the woodshed and kick the shit out of each other and move on.
Because original karate, like
get the fuck out of here.
like
No, it's
original-
Kenpo with an M. Kempo.
oh, hold on, Kempo, but it is not Chinese? No, it's
Chinese.
It's Japanese. It is
No
Chinese.
Chinese. If you
But Kempo's karate, though, isn't it?
correct, but Ed Parker should pop up with it. Big dude, white hair.
Kenpo, so Kenpo, right?
KEM, like mom.
Yeah, it
P.O.
is.
Do you see Ed Parker in there anywhere?
No, but I'm
Or-
gonna...
Yeah. If you Google Ed
Oh,
Parker.
I know the guy. Yeah, I've seen that guy, obviously.
And
But
of
he's
course,
dead. Like, he's been dead for a while.
he's been dead a long time. But when I was looking because I was getting into a lot of trouble and shit, and I was like, I have an interest in the arts, the martial arts as a whole, not just beating people up, right?
Yep.
And I got hooked up with a guy. He's real small studio, and I just dove into it. Was like 12 years into it, and I loved it. It was amazing.
Because that
But
Parker was alive at the same time as Bruce Lee.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know the guy. Yeah, he was young too back then, but
Yeah, but then it kind of evolved to, and then my instructor and I and the guys in my classes and stuff, we got into a little jiu-jitsu, and to give you an idea, a guy came into the studio and he's like, I want to learn self-defense, and it's like, oh, obviously something happened, you kind of talking to him, and he was getting money out of a ATM.
sure.
They go to get in his car, him and his wife.
Yep.
As they both get in, both doors fly open. A guy reaches in, grabs his wife's tits, and the other guy goes, "If you don't give me all the money you just took, we're just going to rip her tits right off her." And of course, it's just panic and chaos. And
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, be honest with you, what you're going to learn in here is not probably going to do you a bit of good in that situation. We're going to build confidence in you, and I do the whole thing, right?
Yep.
But that's going to take years, dude. In a couple weeks, you're not going to learn how to do that,
No.
and you got to apply yourself. And And we used to deal with a lot of so, and then one guy said he got assaulted in a phone booth. So what we did is, this is kind of shit we were doing. We built quote unquote phone booth out of wood and plexiglass, and then we had it in the studio. Be like, and we bolted it to the floor and the wall because you know that we were gonna just tear it up. And I was big then. You know, it was that big. And I'd get in there, and my instructor would come in there and try to fuck with me, and we would like practice these situations, you know, because it's like, hey, man, absolutely, you know, a perfect situation is not going to be me and you walking on the mat, tapping the mat, and punching gloves and go, okay, let's go. No, dude, that's not going to happen. You know,
no referees there either. This is why, you know, things like this.
Oh, of course, useful. Yes.
That's why things. Hey, dude. Like this are very useful.
So I was raised that a man without a knife is like a wolf without teeth.
Listen, I
carry a knife every day.
I always carry one, like my everyday carries, just a Spyderco, very high end.
Sure.
But this I've trained with.
Yeah.
This is the type of shit that you chop some fingers and hands.
Yeah, of course. Now the thing is, I got held up. And this was like 8 years into my martial arts career, and I was practicing. Girlfriend and I were in the city. I get money out, and a guy comes up and goes, "Hey, man, that money you just took from the ATM, give it to me."
Yeah,
and he's standing there.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, I go, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "Give him the money." I go, "This guy can go fuck himself." And he pulls out this blade, dude. It's like this big.
Yeah.
And of course, and then what we taught was if they hold it out in front of them, dude, go. So I told the guy, "Go, come and get it."
Yep.
And my girlfriend at the time was like, "Well," and I turned my back on him and I walked away. And I'm like, "Guy's a bitch."
He's not gonna do shit.
Now the thing is, if he had it inverted with the blade against his forearm and his other arm out and being like, "Come here, dude, give me your money," I'd be like, "Ooh, this guy knows what he's doing."
You would have got front kicked right in the balls.
Fuck it, dude.
No question. So you don't fuck. I would never kick somebody in the balls, but if you pull a blade on me, bro,
dude, and
you'll never have kids. I guarantee you that. No. You'll never have kids.
And our theory in martial arts was kicking a guy in the face is like punching him in the feet. So we would practice just from the waist down is what you use your legs for. From the waist up, it's fist.
I'm Canadian, bro. 5 months out of the year, it's frozen. You think you're going to start high kicking people, you're going to end up on your ass and getting stabbed in the neck.
Yeah.
You keep up. You low kick, and elbows. Elbows. I love elbows.
You know, another one
I love about Muay Thai. Oh, yeah, but you need to get close.
Yeah.
And if you got a guy with a blade, not a good idea.
Well, yeah, no, you don't want to do that. But no, and then I was teaching, so to retain my status, you know, my belt count and all that kind of stuff. You know, you had to learn CPR, you had to volunteer.
Sure.
You know,
those are great skills to have.
100%. And then I would have to do 2 theses a year.
Sure.
And it had to be written with a pen or a pencil.
Sure.
Because it's a whole left brain, right brain thing. You know, people don't think about that shit. You know, there's probably people out there that obviously practice that and think about that. But so it was cool. But then would have to teach, right? So give you an example. If you came in, I said, all right, first class, 30 minutes long. Cool. First 15 minutes, we're kind of assessing each other. You know, I'd ask questions. We do things. Then I'd pad you up. You know, the underwear kind of pad, the headgear and the thing. Sure. And the first thing I do is hit you as hard as I could.
You're a dick.
And then they go, what are you doing that for? I go, see? Oh, my God. Look at that. Oh, my God. You're alive.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. You got hit.
Die. Yep.
And I hit you pretty hard, dude. I can hit somebody pretty hard. Right. And I would do the same with women. But the other thing with women, I think you'll get a kick out of this. I go, all right, we're going to teach you stuff. That's cool. The most you're going to get out of this is self-confidence.
Yep.
But what I'm going to teach you, do not try to apply it in an altercation. And she's like, why is that? I go, you're 135 pounds. I'm 280 pounds. What are you going to do to me?
Nothing.
I said, she goes, so what do? I go, It's simple. It's not
Run.
easy. Right. But I go, you ever try to put a cat in a pillowcase? And she's like, no. I go, could you imagine what it's like to try to put a cat in a pillowcase? She goes, yeah. I go, be that cat.
Yeah.
And as soon as you can, run like a motherfucker, scream, holler, break windows, set car alarms off. It doesn't matter. Make as much racket as you possibly can.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh, I didn't think of that.
It's
Yeah, because
it's
what are you going to pull a white belt move on somebody? Get out of here,
but
dude.
it's situational awareness,
That's it.
de-escalation skills. Those are the things that they don't really teach. And self-defense as a whole is very flawed. So one of my buddy is old IDF, like he's old Israeli defense, and he's in Canada now, and he teaches Krav Maga, but he's one of the guys that trained the military hand to hand. Like he's been doing it since he's like 6 or 7 years old. He's a monster, bro.
Oof.
He's tiny, 5'6", 5'7".
Oh, those are the worst, dude.
145
Those guys are
pounds,
animals.
soaking wet. He'll kick you as a front kick with no space at all. Like he's so flexible, it's scary.
That's awesome. Good for him.
But he brought me down for a session with his instructors. So he's like, we're going to bring a guy that knows how to fight and is not going to be scared of you. Because, see, that's one thing they don't teach in self-defense. They teach you stuff to defend yourself, but they never teach you stuff how to fight against a guy that's going to fight back. Because if you try to hurt me, it's on. I'm going to do everything I can to walk away to de-escalate.
100%.
But if it gets down to it, I don't care that you're as good as me. We'll go to the hospital together. But there's going to be a fight. You're not going to punch me once, and I'm not going to disappear.
No.
But that's what.
Sorry.
But that's what self-defense teaches you. Like they teach you to defend yourself, attack 1 or 2, 3. Just today, again, I was watching instructors teaching, and they're like, they block a jab and pop. I'm like, bro, that jab, there would have been a right hand right behind it.
Yeah.
So that little move you just did, you would be sleeping on the fucking ground right now. That shit don't work, bro.
No.
But even if it did, let's say I didn't catch you. You think that your little I would have waited for you with my two? No, the jab, the hands are up. I pop. Like I'm fighting. I'm not like chin up like a retard. Like we're fighting, bro. Like what are you talking about?
100% offense. So what I would learn was most people. Correct me. I want to know your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Most people are going to gas out in 20 seconds.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And they're going to give you their absolute best right away.
They're absolute worst. Right.
No, but they're going to give you their signature move right away because that's always worked for them.
Oh yeah, that big haymaker right off the
whatever
bat,
it is, right? Even if it's up to a 4-count combo, right?
Oh,
if you could just take it, because
you
can take some fucking abuse, dude. It's no big deal. You take it, let them gas out, and then guess what? I'm wearing your skin, buddy. You're all done.
But that's why you look at like wrestling to be one of the best base you can have. That's why I like the clinch in Muay Thai. Yeah, because attack me all you want, that's fine. I'm just gonna slip. Like you start attacking me, I'm gonna step in. I'm not scared of you.
Exactly.
So if you start throwing those big hooks, I'm okay. I block the hook. No, but I block the hook. Next thing you know, my hand's on your bicep, and the other elbow is coming right down the pipe, and I just broke your nose. Like I will gash you, and then I'm not gonna stop there. There's a left elbow that's coming, and then I tap your chest, I sweep your back leg, and you're fucking sleeping on the ground because you just hit your head on the pavement.
Dude, I was taught, and I taught you keep going until the threat is eliminated.
100%.
You don't go bang bang and be like, okay, we're good. No.
You never know who you're dealing with. You 100%. Have no
you just keep
idea.
Dude, and I'll grab this 8-ball off a real 8-ball, dude, not a real 8-ball.
Yeah.
I'll grab that 8-ball. I'll grab my phone, dude. I'll grab a magazine. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't have any ego when it comes to fighting. I'll fish hook you.
You know Bass Rutten, right?
No, I don't know.
Bas Rutten is an old school. He used to fight in the UFC back in the days. He used to fight in Japan with no gloves. Like, he's a maniac.
Yeah.
You probably seen it in a few movies. He's a tall Dutch guy, good looking dude, shaved. He looks like Hercules, basically.
Yeah. If I saw him, I'd probably know who he is, right?
Yeah. And he made a video years and years ago, and it was a joke. People thought he was just kidding around. He's just in a bar. And he's like, he assessed people like, if that guy walks up to me, he does this, I'm going to take his head, I'm going to smash it on the counter. And he's making noise. He's like, bading, badang, I drop the bottle, pating, patow. And people are like, ha, that guy's hilarious. I'm like,
No.
You do realize that guy, maybe you think he's funny because he's fucking around right now, but that guy's 6'4", 225-pound rip. That dude's a fucking monster. Like, that dude used to work in clubs in big clubs with people would get drunk, have guns. He's like, that dude's seen it. What he's doing there, he's making it funny by making noises.
Right.
But I got to tell you what he's saying. He
knows what the hell he's doing.
He knows what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying, because that shit would fucking work.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I always would do, because the lifestyle I lived back then, and we were doing all that shit too. It is exactly that. Like you said, I'll kick you in the nuts, dude. I'll straight up bitch slap you across the face because you didn't expect that. You think I'm coming after you, and you're like in a defensive position. You're like ready, and I might flick my right foot, and you look down, and I just fucking whack you so hard across the face it spins your head around, and you're like, "What?" I'm like, "Come on, dude. I'll do anything."
When's the last time you fought?
Oh fuck, dude! Long time ago. I still hit the bag just twice a week. I work the bag, and then what I do with the bag, people look at me. You're all weird at the gym, dude. I get against the bag and I push it, so the weight of it, and I, as you would know, I got my head like we're clinched, and I move the bag around like with my head and my forehead.
Of course.
And as I'm doing that, I'm uppercutting it, I'm elbowing it, I'm kneeing it, and people are like,
where most fights are, but that's where most fights are.
And then
and this hurts, huh? Like a beard long like mine.
Oh, dude,
you rub this in face of people. Oh, this
you're
is
damn right, dude.
People don't know how unpleasant that is.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm reaching up and I'm putting my finger in your ear and pulling your head the opposite. Dude, that's the kind of shit that I'm a scrapper, and I've always been that way. But then I'll sit and a guy approached me a couple weeks ago, actually. I set my timer on my phone to do certain exercises, like jump rope. I'll 45 seconds, dude. Just keep going till fucking. That way you're not paying attention to it, right? The phone's going. So I'll go 45. I'll go 45 seconds, and I'll stand square in front of the bag, and I'll have my hands in front of me, fist, and I'll punch in the bag. And doing this, I'm holding the bag's weight up, right?
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Like a train.
I know what you're,
right?
You just, it stays at an angle.
Right, but I'm only moving my fist like that far.
But that's fine. Yeah. But you're just holding it in place. I get it. Yeah.
Right? And the guy goes, "Well, that don't seem very effective." I go, "All right, buddy. Why don't you stand in front of me, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that to your midsection." And he goes, "Oh, that's why you do it." I go, "Uh-huh. Because most of the time you're going to come in on me. I'm going to put my head down. You'll probably hit me, but I'm going to pulverize your midsection to where you can't even breathe, dude. Because I could punch you in the belly, in the chin, in the back,
you don't know how to take
in the face. What's that? But the thing is, but if I take your wind away from if I take the wind away from you, you're all done, dude. And that's my point. And the saying we used to have in martial arts, I'm going to get this fight over as fast as I can so I can go home and fuck your girlfriend.
Yeah, sure. It's still true.
That's it. I'm not here to show off. I'm not here to be all big and badass. No, dude. I'm here to de-escalate this as fast as possible. And because I have the ability to and you don't, that's not my problem, dude. That's a you problem, not a my problem. So, yeah, fighting is a thing. Dude, I used to fight all the Our saying too, dude, we used to go out and we'd say we either were fucking or fighting. So if I didn't have any dates, dude, we'd tear it up.
I don't miss those days, though.
No, me neither, but they're kind of fun to talk about once in a while.
I do not miss it. It's so stupid.
Dude, it's
I will do anything.
ridiculous.
I will do anything I can to avoid a fight today. Anything I can. I don't care. I
Walk
don't care
away,
anymore.
dude. Walk away.
Oh, if I
I
have
don't-
to tell you that you're absolutely right, that you're better than me, whatever. I don't have an ego there. No problem.
Same here.
No problem. There's
You're
no
right.
ego to have there anymore.
You're right, dude. You're absolutely right. Have a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Dude,
not worth it.
I got a gun pulled on me last week at work.
What do you? You're a trucker, you said, right?
Yeah. I was looking for one of my stolen trucks, and I took a picture of the street
Sure.
because that's the address they gave me when they rented the truck. So I took that's part of my thing. And the guy comes up and he goes, "Did you just take a picture of me?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm looking at the street, dude. I need a street view here." And he pulls a gun out and he goes, "You sure?" And I go, "Uh-huh." And I hold my iPad up. I go, "Yeah, I'm sure." And he's like looking at me. I'm looking at him. I go, "Are we done?" And I never looked down at the gun because he didn't hold it up, but he held it out. And obviously I can see it, right? But I'm not giving you the satisfaction of me looking down at it and being scared because that's all he wanted, And I was in a mood, dude. And I was like, "No, I'm good." He's
Well,
like,
you can't carry in New Jersey, can you?
"No, it's totally illegal."
So that's the gun wasn't legal, so you know.
No, it was the ghetto. Because that's where a lot of my trucks end up. They steal them, take them to ghetto. And he walked away, and I looked down. Sure enough, dude, big as fuck. He's in the picture. I was like, "Oh shit, good thing he didn't look at the picture." But
those guys are they don't even know how to use their own guns.
Well,
those guys are not trained. Those guys have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They're gonna end up shooting themselves. Fucking idiots.
Dude, they use it for just like the knife thing. It's intimidation. Dude,
you know the time that it takes for you to take it out of your drawers like this, like see my gun. Yeah, okay, take it out. By the time you're gonna swing that shit at me, my hand's on it.
Well, yeah,
your gun's not yours anymore.
Yeah, we're so close. Yeah, you were so close. I've taken your gun, and I did a little.
I'm fucking your girlfriend.
Yeah, and I flicked your throat, and you're gagging because now you're panicking because I just flicked your throat. And you're like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Get the fuck out of here, dude. So I don't know. And people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." Okay, so what do you want me to have done at that point? Turn around, walk away? I wasn't going to turn my back on them, but I was making sure, going to the masculinity thing. I'm not gonna act like a little bitch and fall to my knees and go, "Oh, sir, it'll be okay." Go fuck yourself, dude. So I don't know, man. I don't think I handled it. I think I handled it the best way I could at the point.
You knew he wasn't doing anything.
No, I knew he was. I've been around guns, dude. I've had guns pulled on me. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. So that stuff doesn't even faze me anymore, especially when it comes from somebody that doesn't look like they know what the fuck they're doing with it.
No, that's a guy. Give him enough time, he's going to shoot himself.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I hope between now and then he doesn't harm anybody else. That's the only, that's
the biggest, in Alabama right now. And man, you hear gunshots all the time because it's hunting season, right?
Yeah.
And they hunt everywhere and you can hunt with a handgun here.
No shit.
Oh, yeah. So you hear it's like, pop, 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 pop. Like the guys are, you get like a 357 mag that the fucking bullets are this.
Oh,
big.
yeah,
like
of course.
you can kill pretty much anything.
Yeah.
So the guys scary, like they'll have their hunting rifle. They have a
but you ain't gonna
have a backup gun. It's like a handgun, but
and it's 100 yards away, and they're shooting at it with that handgun. And they're like, "Dude, you ain't gonna hit a barn from 100 yards away with that thing."
Unless you're good at it.
Well, come on, dude. But come on, dude.
We were doing it. I don't. When I was in Phoenix, actually, the time I dropped off my bike, I was there. I was going to meet a firearm instructor, and we went to the range. I had never done that before, but I was shooting a 9 at 150 yards.
No shit.
Plate.
Nice, dude.
Oh yeah, but once you have the angle, it's super easy, right?
Yeah,
the 9 has no recoil, so you're just pop, pop.
That's
pop.
when I was a security guard, private security guard for a long time. That's what I carried was a Glock 9. So
Not a fan of Glocks though.
No, but that's what they.
break. Yeah,
that's what they.
They don't break though.
Man, well,
They don't break. They. You can rely on the Glock, like a Glock 19. You'll never break.
and everything that I was doing was
They're
in
cheap.
well
They're
then
cheap.
and everything I was doing was in like big rooms, like and stuff like that. So you're not out in a parking lot. You're not out on a range.
Yeah.
You're confined in a
Yeah.
room that has like an event going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it worked well. Plus, it was heavy enough that you could use it
As a stabbing tool. Yeah. That's another thing people don't know, huh?
Yeah.
If you pull a gun on somebody, you don't need to shoot them. Just fucking smack them in the face with a cannon. Just use it as, just grab it and just use it. You're not going to shoot yourself. Either way, the bullet goes straight. So you're not going to be shot by it. But
well, that's all up here. That's mindset. So like next to my bed in New Jersey, you're not supposed to have any handguns, but
somebody you know.
Yeah, my more than one, but so next to my bed, this is a great. I love this story. I was in a shitty apartment a long time ago, back in the day, and I had this. We were moving, in this cheap nightstand, and had this leg on it, wooden leg that screws in, to hold it up, And I kind of feel the weight, and I was like, this is pretty sweet. So I take it out on the back deck, big iron railing. I like 4 times, hit as hard as I could, and it barely put a dent in that cheap wood. Not cheap wood, I guess, but it barely put. I was like,
yeah, it's a good weapon.
I was like, man. So I got rid of the little nut on the end, and then about 8 inches up, I taped it like a hockey stick because I played hockey at the time. So sure. I put the grip on it like a hockey stick, and I've had that thing since, and it sits right next to my bed. And people are like, "What happens if they got a gun?" I go, "That's cool too. Come on in, buddy." Because one, I'm going to hear you coming, and I could probably do more damage to you with that billy club, I'll call it, I guess, than you're going to be able to do with that gun.
That's why I like dogs, man.
Huh?
That's why I like dogs.
Yeah. They're
the perfect alarm system.
Alarm system. That's the word I was.
If they hear the dog's going, if the dog's making a weird noise,
it's a deflection.
The dog gives me the time to go grab a gun, grab a knife, and if she doesn't fuck you up, I'll finish the job by the time
I'm right behind her. She'll get to you before I do, right?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and it's just I think it boils down to your comfort with that stuff, the experience you've had, because I have friends that are like, that's crazy, but they just don't have they haven't had the experience with weapons, right? They haven't been put in those situations, so they're not comfortable with it, which is understandable.
But they're idiots. No, but they're idiots.
Well, because I get it, man.
Look at it. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. You can turn on the news anytime you want, and you hear about home invasions. You hear about people getting attacked on the streets. It happens every day. It happens millions of times every year in the U.S.
Well, and 8 million illegal aliens coming across the border, dude.
Yeah, that's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
But the point is that it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It happens all the freaking time.
Well,
most people are disarmed. Most people don't know. They don't have any martial arts skills. They don't have guns. They don't have knives. They don't know how to use any of those tools. They don't have any type of situational awareness. They have no clue how to treat their body to turn it into a weapon. Like, they have no clue about anything.
Right.
And they think that because it's never happened to them, that it's never going to happen to them.
No.
It's complete stupidity to me.
No, and 100%. And the reason I told you that story about the billy club is because you said the stabbing motion, right?
Yep.
So my wife, we've been together over a decade, and she's a martial artist too. I'm going to show you this picture. You're going to love it. I said, don't swing this thing. Don't ever swing it. Stab with it.
Sure.
And then stab with it. And then she knows martial arts. So I said, stab and then circle around. Because I used to, I would tell people in martial arts, this would be fun to get your opinion. Every straight line ends with a circle, and every circle ends with a straight line.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, people that understand fighting and martial arts know that that's a thing. Hold on. I got to show this. My wife is, she's fucking badass, dude. Hang on. You'll love this picture. Where the fuck is that? I got it here somewhere. Then, But you saying that a lot of people don't know. So I try to teach her situation awareness. When you're coming out of the grocery store, when you're going to your car, just look around, man. Don't be looking at your phone, especially now you have our son, and it's just certain things like that. I try to,
It is
a lot
so
of that.
true,
If somebody sees her being in the
Yep.
moment,
Yep.
they're going to pick somebody else. So all it takes is that. All it takes
Yep.
is for you not to be an easy target.
100%. It's
It
this is you're bang on this one. Don't be an easy target. Pay
That's
attention.
it. Just pay
attention. Just pay attention to what
Who's-
goes on around you.
Who said that? I listened to a guy. He said I know you'd know the dude. You might know it when I talk about it. He said he interviewed. Oh, Jocko.
Yeah, sure.
Jocko. He said he interviewed a guy that would kidnap kids. And he said, listen, dude, what would you, or he talked to a guy or something. Anyway.
Yep.
But he said, what is the things that you look for that don't make an easy target?
Yep.
He said, a strong family unit.
100%.
And then he said, first of all, is the man present?
Yep.
And does the man look like he knows what the fuck he's doing?
Yeah.
And I
Does he make you worry?
Boom!
Like you're looking at it, you're like, hold on here.
Yep, and I do not make an easy target, dude. People look at me and go, I'm going to move down the road. So,
there was
what the hell is this?
There was an article a few years back. They interviewed prisoners that got caught for breaking and entering, and they were asking them very similar question: what makes you choose a house over another? And it's the same thing. Have a dog. Alarm system, they don't care. By the time the cops get there, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
But to them, they're like, oof, do they look dangerous? Do the people look like they have guns? Do the people have dogs? Oh, they have dogs. Fuck it. That is the number one thing they would not mess with.
A dog.
If you have,
Even a little noisemaker. That's all you just, because now you're bringing attention to it. And
it's just, what is easier? The house with the dog, or the same house right next to it without a dog? Without a dog.
Or they scope the place out, right? Is there a strong family unit? Is there a man at the property? That kind of thing.
That is always a thing.
Hey, dude, check this out.
Nice.
My wife, dude.
I've never been a fan of the gi.
I know, man.
I am not. That's one thing I loved about.
Muay
One
Thai.
thing I loved about but Muay Thai is just shorts. Like it's a sport, right? It's still a sport. Although it was derived from a military system, it's still a sport. But that's what I loved about the way my buddy trains Krav. You show up there in a t-shirt, jeans, whatever you wear on a daily basis.
Yep.
That is what you're wearing there.
Yeah.
Because this is when shit's gonna happen.
That's what you're going to do.
Right. Whatever you're wearing right now. If you're a sweatpants type of guy and you always wear them, well, come to the gym with sweatpants.
Sweatpants on. Yeah, absolutely.
Train with your running shoes, whatever you use every day. Train with the same pants, same jeans, same
100%.
coat, same hoodie, no difference.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you on that. And that's like when people weigh themselves, they're like, did you weigh naked? I go, I don't walk around naked.
Yeah, it's not going to change much either.
So, yeah, I know. That's what people. But we got to wrap this up, dude.
Yeah, we've been at it for. That was a Joe Rogan type of podcast. I haven't done one of those in a long time.
Dude, and I could go another fucking 3 hours with you, man. We ain't even touched on a ton of stuff. So I'm going to have to have you back. I'm going to have you back.
Anytime I'll pull a cigar out next time.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. I should get one too, and we'll sit here and fucking stuff.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
I used to do that with my buddy all the time. We'd record podcasts and we'd record for a cigar. However long it went, we recorded.
Oh, wow. Depending on what cigar you're getting now, bro.
Well, but normally an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
about
because you're puffing and talking, right? So,
but then you can spark another one too if you haven't spoken enough.
True.
So there's always one more cigar to be smoking.
That's awesome. But I love what you got going on. When we connected, obviously I trolled you. I like all your messaging. You're doing good stuff, man. So take the mic over for a few minutes. Let everybody know what's happening. And then we'll shut her down.
I'm just sharing my opinion, sharing how men are supposed to be masculine, how they're supposed to be masculine. It's, man, I've been recording like a crazy person recently, man. I've been like 75 podcasts, 75 different podcasts over the past 14 weeks, give or take.
God damn, dude.
So I've been spreading that message. Like my socials are really like over the past few months, the socials are really, really growing. And, I'm writing another book right now that I'm going to be targeting single mothers with boys.
Oh, very nice.
Teaching them that they can't teach a boy how to become a man. They need to have men around them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about my life, what happened to me when I didn't have a father figure, to kind of be a cautionary tale. So if you don't believe what I'm saying, this is what happened to me. If you don't want that to happen to your son, here is how I got out of it. Here are the skills that I had to build over the years, and you're going to need to find men at certain places to teach your son the skills that he need. And those are the skills, and those are the places you can find those men. And if you need help, you tell me. So yeah, there's nothing like that out there. There's nothing targeting.
Yeah,
a lot of people are targeting men, but not a lot of people are targeting single mothers. And considering right now that, depending on the study you look at, it's 33% to 40% of boys are being raised right now.
Oh shit!
In a house without their
father figure.
Father. Yep. So the divorce rate is so high, right? And 90% of kids end up with their mothers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it makes sense, because half of weddings end up in divorces, and 90% of the time they end up with women. So 40%, like 33 to 40% is bang on that those boys don't have a father figure in the house. So yeah.
Yeah, I dated a girl for almost a decade, and she was a single mom when I met. She had 2 boys, and I basically raised them.
Yep.
And we're still in contact, and that was 20 years ago, dude.
But that's how it should be. You know, it is the...
There's some badass, I'll call them stepdads, for lack of better description.
But it doesn't
some badass men. No, you don't have to be a bloodline, dude. Just be a fucking man about it.
No, that's not even what I mean. What I was going to say is that it doesn't even need to be a partner. Like how many martial art instructor I have met in my life. Like, I did not learn to be a man from my father or from my stepfather. Eventually, it was through martial arts. I met other men. I met tribes of men, and this is how I started learning the skills to become a man. And
I like that.
I recommend that to women all the time. If you have boys, put them in martial arts. Not only are you teaching them to become protectors, because that is the job of a man, to protect his family, you're teaching them the skills to become coachable. You're teaching them the skills to build discipline, to be around other men, to know what it feels like to be hurt, to know what it feels like to be dependable, to depend on others, to have people depend on you. So martial art to me changed my life. Like, it forged me as a man. It is if I have one thing to say that changed my life, it's martial art by far.
I'm right there in the same camp with you, and my wife is the same way. Martial arts was hugely impactful in her life.
Yep.
So my son, or our son, will be in pads of some kind.
You have to.
I mean, quickly.
This is non-negotiable with my girlfriend. My girlfriend and I is the same thing. So I don't care, boy or girl.
Doesn't matter.
Until the age of 18, if you're living under my roof, you're doing martial arts. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. This is not an option. It's not an option.
No, and my wife and I talk about this is, like, right now he does swim class and this gym type class.
Sure.
Right? He's 2.5, dude. Right?
Yeah.
But we walked in
too young for martial art either way.
Yeah. So as he gets, but for an example, on Saturday we're walking into swim class, and Miss Sabrina, because women are Miss, men are Mr. You can say
that's good.
You can say Mr. Nico, or you can say Mr. Lagan. How do you
Lagan? Better than asshole.
I had some other words, but
Mr. Asshole.
But the thing is, it's either their first name or their last name and some Mr. before it.
Sure.
Okay, because that's a sign of respect. That's how 100%. I was brought up, and that's why that's how I bring up our son, and my wife's on board. And so we're coming into swim class, and I have him. My wife was doing some other errands, and he asked me about something in swim class, and I go, "Bro, that ain't my territory. That's Miss Sabrina." And he kind of looked at me and he's like, oh. Because he knows. When we go into swim class, I have nothing to say, dude. This is her territory. You do what she says.
Yeah.
Don't look at me for questions. You listen to her, bro. And I'm going to teach him that as he's getting up there, I want him in classes with other coaches and other kids. And
you need to be coachable.
100%. Absolutely. And dude, just today, go to pick him up at daycare. And she goes, Dad, incident report. I'm like, sweet. What happened? And he got punched. I go, cool. Where? The face. Cool. Did he retaliate? She goes, yep. I go, cool.
Yeah, cool.
And they're used to me there and she looks at me. I go, they both gave and they both got. We're good. She goes, yeah, we're good. I said, okay, come on, bud, let's go. And we left. Dude, playground justice. You guys fucking figure that out.
Boys being boys.
Tear it up, buddy. Tear it up.
You know, some of the best people I've met in the face, we bled together.
That whole Band of Brothers thing, that's real for a reason.
Men are supposed to be tough. We're supposed to touch. You know, if you and I ever meet, at one point, we're going to punch each other. We're going to wrestle. Something's going to happen.
Of course.
I cannot be around other men that know how to fight without.
Dude.
Somehow it's going to be a test somewhere. We're going to fuck around.
Yeah, my buddies and I still do that, man. They would just walk by and hit you, and you're like,
the teeth.
And I just go, all right, dude, whatever.
Just watch the teeth. I have a lot of money in my teeth, and I've got them broken. So just don't break my nose. Just don't fuck my teeth.
Dude, we're at Little Gym, and I got knowing the guys, right? Because we just kind of group together. Guys do, right?
Of course they do.
And you talk about a little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing, right? So, and we're fucking around, and my son does something, and his head cracked my nose, dude, where my eyes were watering. Right? And this guy goes, and he was just goofing around, he didn't do it on purpose, right?
Yeah,
like,
shit happens.
Yeah, no problem. And I was like, ooh, and and you get that, as you know, you get this, as you can see, my nose is crooked, right? Yeah. And he goes, I'm surprised that didn't bleed. I go, dude.
Oh, you little asshole.
and I go, dude, my nose hasn't bled from being hit for I can't remember how many years. He goes, what do you mean? I go, dude, it got to the point where my nose wouldn't bleed anymore. That I got beat up so bad, my nose got fucking cracked and broken and sideways and everything else. I said, it's all good, buddy. He's like, no shit. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know anybody like that. I go, what kind of world did you live in? You live a sheltered life? But I've
always been good with that, though. I've always kept my hands up. I've always been very good with the nose.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted. Oh, I wanted to show you the violent. I'm a big guy of. I'm in such peace with myself at this point.
Yep.
Because of the violence that I've dealt with.
Sure.
Okay. I agree that you can't be truly peaceful. Oh, listen to this. I love this. Wraps it up real nice. It says you cannot truly call yourself peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. If you're
Dr. Jordan Peterson.
No, hold on. If you're not capable of violence, you're not peaceful. You're harmless. You're harmless. Yep. I love that thing about Jordan Peterson, by the way.
But as much as I love Jordan Peterson, he's such a hypocrite. But he's such a hypocrite.
I know.
Because he's not a real man.
I know.
That guy can't defend. If I decide to put my hands on him, I'm going to crack him.
I know.
I'm going to bend him any way I want.
Okay. But in defense of that, to play the devil's advocate, we'll use him for. Okay, so we'll use him and Joe Rogan for an example.
Sure.
I love both these guys. I listen to them all the time.
Sure.
Okay. Jordan Peterson, I can only listen to for a certain amount of
long.
Yeah, because he's just fucking just all over. I can't keep up with him.
But he's heavy. It's heavy. It's very heavy.
It's heavy. But just like everything else, you got to take some personal responsibility. 100%. You can't take one person and go, I believe in fucking everything that they say. No.
I don't believe. I don't.
No, you can't do that
with one person. 100%. There's no.
No, you can't do that. People are like, my brother. He won't listen to Joe Rogan because my brother's political stuff, right? Not Joe Rogan's, but because my brother's political stuff. And
is he right, left? Is he right, left?
Democrat.
Also, your brother's a leftist.
Yeah, dude, we just,
Oh, so you guys don't agree on much?
Oh, and I poke the bear like a motherfucker, dude. I just I get after him like a.
How can you be?
And his wife gets so mad at me. I love his wife, man. His wife is an angel. She's a bat. She's a true badass, like of a woman. Like if you say, you know what I mean? She's like a woman, right?
She's feminine, yeah.
And she's just a fucking bad. She can lay a floor and take care of your kid at the same time, dude. She's just a badass, right? She's just like that. And she's like, "Don't poke your brother." I go, "It's fun." She goes, "But I got to deal with him." I was like, "All right, because I love you, baby. I won't do that." But anyway, going back to what I was saying is, why can't you listen to him and not agree with everything? I don't agree with everything the fucking guy says. Do I enjoy his show? Yes. Mm-hmm. Multiple times do I go, what the fuck?
Yes. But he's still very leftist.
Who's that? Rogan?
Yeah. Rogan is still very leftist.
I'm pro-American, dude. I'm just going to go with that.
But I agree with a lot. But again, I've said this so many times on podcasts. I don't even agree with me of 6 months ago. There's thing I believe 6 months, a year ago, that I look at today and I'm like, you know what? I was wrong. Dude. So how can you expect me to agree with 100% of what somebody does? I wouldn't.
Well said.
There's zero. But it's true. If you're honest with yourself, nobody agrees. If you still agree with yourself of 2 years ago, you haven't grown at all as a person.
That's my point.
Because you're supposed to challenge your views all the time. You're always supposed to challenge your opinion.
Why wouldn't you?
That's the only way to grow.
No, I agree with you. I like what you said there. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I don't agree with everything I say.
I can look. I record so much shit
Me
that
too.
It pops on your. It pops. It's like, hey, you said that a year ago. You're like, oof. I agree, but oof.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, but I say that too. It's like, yeah, I did, because at that time, if it's okay now, say, oh, dude, see now it's where we're going to get going.
No, not again.
So
have me back again.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna shut up because
it's not gonna stop.
Yeah, I know. We'll get going. All right, man. We're gonna do it. We won't do a part 2 because I got so much stuff going on in the can. But I'm gonna have you back for sure, dude.
Anytime, man. Anytime, brother.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna hang tight, but I'm gonna shut it down.
Sounds good, man.
Damn, always a good time with this dude, and of course, I'm gonna have him back like we talked about. But this episode was recorded quite a while ago, and since then, Nico has changed his social media to a pivot that I think you're going to find very, very interested, no matter what side of the aisle that you sit on. Make sure you jump over there, check him out, say hello. I'm sure he'll love to talk to you. Give him hell for me, too, while you're over there. All right, man, I'm going to get you out of here because I know you got shit to do. But don't forget, Live Rishi, High Speed Daddy, my YouTube channel. Keep kicking ass. Until next time.